yeah. I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow, call me offensive even though yo, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love, still gonna try, I won't give up, still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my first review of my build. This is a Phanteks Eclipse P600S case. I do have my old Thor V2 case in here. I did really like it, but it's not very good for liquid cooling, as some of you may know. So I decided to opt out from that case and go with this. And I went down from full-size to mid-size tower, and I was honestly a little bit skeptical because I've always had full-size cases, and going from obviously full-size to small, it's a smaller case, is a little bit of a struggle, especially if you're not really that good with cable management. But you know what? This case is very, very good in terms of cable management. I'm very impressed. I had a fractal design from back in the day, from when they first started building cases and they were first starting to come out, and that case was not very cable management friendly, especially for people like me who don't really do it professionally. This is just kind of a gaming setup for home. But anyways, let's begin to showcase the build. Make sure this doesn't crack. So we're currently running two radiators. It's a dual radiator setup. As you can tell, it is 360 rad up top, 280. Let me kind of zoom in, make it a little bit. There we go. 280 in the front. I'm running two 140 millimeter Noctua fans. I will put all the information in the description as much as I can. Running, I believe it's a Quantum EKWB reservoir. I really like this thing. It just fits right. The only thing is with my setup, I did buy a bracket to install it onto the radiator, and it didn't really work for me. This RGB block, it's not zooming in for some reason, or focusing rather, not zooming in. This RGB Kinetic block, it doesn't really fit under the graphics card, unfortunately, with the brackets, so that had to be opted from the build. This is my first build, by the way, so don't judge too hard. I did go with the drain, as I did look at other YouTubers and other pictures online of guys building their drain systems, and I figured it was actually a really good idea to have one in here. It makes things a lot easier, and I'm sure down the road I'll be able to use it. It's a very convenient thing to have. So with this build, I did go with all black fittings. So every single fitting is black to kind of match the black and white theme that I went with. So everything, all the 90s, all that good stuff is all kind of, I don't know, I think it's a satin black, maybe matte black color. But yeah, it looks really good. So I also went with soft tubing. As I said before, this is my first time building anything like this, so it was, I definitely wanted something that was easy for me to kind of put together. Now moving on from the reservoir onto the graphics card, the most fun part, I think, of this entire build. Well, fun to look at, not fun to install. and kind of assemble. But I am running a EKWB Quantum RGB. Once again, I'll put the proper description of the block and all the parts down in the description on YouTube. But that's the only one they had available. So I don't have a block, RGB block, as some of them might have. But you know what? I think it looks pretty good. I also went with a black nickel plate, not a black colored nickel plate. I think it's just machining. The parts are very, very sturdy. Like it's a quality piece. That's the word I'm looking for. Everything from the block to the radiators, absolutely everything. Fans is a very, very high quality. I'm very impressed, to be honest. The graphics card, I'm running a ZOTAC RTX 2080 Ti. It's an AMP edition. It is 11 gig graphics card. It is overclocked. It is pretty much of a beast. It's a very fun graphics card to have, in my opinion. Moving on, like I said before, it is a 360 radiator setup on top with 120 millimeter, 320 millimeter EK fans, which honestly, these are some fantastic fans. They're very, very quiet. They work very well, keeps everything nice and cool. And from 360 radiator, moving on to the CPU block, and again, it's a quantum. I think it's a velocity. Yep, quantum velocity CPU block, and it's cooling i9 9900K that is currently overclocked steady to 5 megahertz. So it's constant 5 megahertz, and I'll get to temperatures in a little bit. I'm running CORSAIR. I forgot the name. It's a very popular brand. It's a RGB Pro, whatever it is. It's a 32 gig system, 4 RAM sticks, and I chose the setup just for aesthetics. Honestly, as you can tell, it's a little bit of a RGB theme going on here. For my power supply, I went with Focus 750 watt power supply. It's a fully modular power supply by Seasonic, and I believe, and I'm correct, sorry, I got some tools laying around from the build. It's a Seasonic Focus. It's a 80 plus gold system. Very, very good power supply. I've had my previous one, I think it was a CORSAIR, if I'm not mistaken, for a very long time, and this thing just kicks ass. I'm very, very impressed. Also my first fully modular power supply as well. And it kind of goes, again, like I said before, into 280 millimeter rad with Noctua fans. These fans are actually insane. I did read reviews, and yes, they're expensive fans and this and that, but they haul ass. Like, if you've never experienced these, like this fan right here from the case from Phanteks is pretty much nothing compared to these. These move air like crazy. I did remove 2 panels, one from the top and one from the side, just to keep the airflow a little bit going. I know it's a liquid cooled case, but again, I have a radiator in the front and a radiator on top, so I figured just to kind of keep the airflow going, I think it would be a smart move to have them open. Alright, and moving on from the computer, from the case to the numbers that I promised you. So we're currently sitting at idle, and my graphics card, using Firestorm, that's a ZOTAC's software for overclocking and kind of keeping track of what's going on. So as you can tell, I'm overclocked just a little bit, barely anything, and it's sitting really happy. So I'm not very good with overclocking, but from what I can tell, it kind of works like CPU turbo setup. So whenever it's under load, it actually goes for megahertz. It goes from 1350 to just over 2000 megahertz. and temperatures are around 30 to 45-ish degrees Celsius. So that's a huge improvement from what it was before. Now, these are my specs for the CPU. Like I said, it's constantly sitting at 5 megahertz for CPU. My core voltages, they fluctuate a little bit, but roughly that's where they're at most of the time, especially on idle. CPU temperature, once again, sitting around 50 degrees. Now it says 49, but around 50 degrees Celsius, to be fair, for the most part. And during gameplay, everything is ran on either Full HD with everything turned on to the max, or 4K, everything turned on to the max, depending on what game I'm playing. So my favorite game of choice at the moment is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and with everything turned on to the max, regular gameplay, I'm sitting for graphics card roughly around 40 degrees after a while. And my take is it probably takes a little bit, or over time rather, it takes a toll on the coolant, and it warms up. So just like any coolant, any water, it will warm up eventually, right? So currently it's sitting at 30, during gameplay I'm around 40, and CPU barely changes, to be honest. It goes from, it was now 49. I have never seen it go up to 60. The highest I've seen it go was up to 56 degrees Celsius, and I keep it monitoring on my second screen down there just to see what's going on. This is a new system, so I'm still kind of a little bit skeptical about coolant and leaks and all that stuff, but so far it's been very good. By the way, for coolant, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm running I have a few little parts and tools going on here, but I'm running EK-Fuel Solid Cloud White. It's a 1 liter bottle. I did buy it in this configuration just because it was available, it was cheap, and I was gonna do it anyway, and I figured, you know what, I'm new at this, so I'd rather get the professionals, the guys that do this all the time, to kind of offer it for me and put it in our build. If you like these videos, if you like anything like this, any reviews of this sort, I'll try to be a little bit more in depth and a little bit more focused on specs and all that good stuff for the next video, but let me know. And if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos and gaming videos. Thank you guys, and have a good day.